Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you something quite special. This is a 1980 Suzuki LJ80. So this is a very, very small and bare bones four-wheel drive from Japan. It weighs just under 1,700 pounds and is powered by a 0.8 liter four-cylinder with 41 horsepower through a 4-speed manual. These are extremely rare in North America. This is one of roughly 300 sold in the Canadian market. They sold them from 1978 through 1980. And it is quite special and cool, and you are unlikely to ever see another one. They also made the LJ80, which came with a 2-cylinder, 2-stroke engine with even less power. You could get tin top versions. This one obviously has a canvas roof. Has these lovely body lines on the side for style and aerodynamics, clearly. Very Jeep-like front fascia, however it has 8 bars instead of 7. Absolutely epic machine. This is my friend Dallas, who is the proud owner of this phenomenal piece of history. He's going to go over some more vital stats.
So this is the fully loaded option of the LJ80. So for those who are willing to spend an extra bit of money and bougify their LJ80 back in the late 70s and early 80s, you could option this with, and this one was optioned with, a heater box for those long cold winters, especially if you were, further than Toronto. The optional wiper motor, so you don't have to manually turn the wipers. However, with the sacrifice of a passenger sun visor, so you don't just get the wiper motor, you also just only lose the sun visor. So there's a trade-off, as well as this vehicle is also optioned with the optional Bushman provided from Suzuki tow hitch for your towing utilities, such as a tight cozy coupe trailer that I would usually tow on the back of one of those little smart car things.
Because as you can see here, there's no back seat for your kids.
These were, however, potentially optioned with a rear bench seat. And in some other markets, they're optioned with 2 rear-facing seats for the lovebirds of the time. And it does happen to have a swing tailgate, which is 2-step, which is very heavy, as well as a folding down trunk. So I'm not going to open this because the canvas is cold and it's stretched and it will be a bitch to get back on. But you can imagine. And for the Canadian market, the some differences with this vehicle was obviously the inclusion of 2 reverse lights, not 1. So, obviously, because you can really see those. As well as mandated reflectors and side markers, which is unique to the Canadian market in North America. And if you come up to the front, a good telltale of where this car was sold is the 2, obviously, reflector and marker light again, and 2 amber signal and running light, or parking light, because running lights weren't a thing back then. That's it.
Entering the interior of the Suzuki LJ80 via the beautiful chrome door handle, you get 2 vinyl seats. There is no recline adjustment, but you can slide them fore and aft. You have OEM Suzuki floor mats. You have this wonderful CB radio. The control for your high-tech luxury of power wipers. Headlights, choke. Lovely 2-spoke steering wheel. Turn signal. This one only has 49,000 kilometers on it. And it drives like it. Drives like a brand new vehicle. There's your Suzuki AM radio, glove box, another storage compartment, and an unbelievable luxury. You have dual zone climate zone control. How do you adjust the heat? I actually don't know. That's something to do with the fan speed. That opens some vents, recirculate, or fresh air. You have an ashtray. 4-speed manual transmission. It actually has shift on the fly 4-wheel drive, so you don't have to get out and lock hubs. The original instruction sticker. The most bare bones door panels you've ever seen. There's a handle to close it, there is a handle to open it, and there's a window crank. You got some vents. There's your wiper motor. And 3-point seat belts. Handbrake, that's basically all there is to it. Lotus inspired label maker created VIN. This is the mighty 0.8 liter 4-cylinder powertrain. The radiator is comparable to the one in my 1-liter Geo Metro. Absolutely phenomenal condition. So, driving the Suzuki LJ80, upon reviewing all the footage I got after filming it, I realized that I accidentally recorded the POV drive as a time lapse, and no audio was recovered, which is rather unfortunate because I want to give you guys an immersive experience, and there's no recreating the tremendous racket created by the canvas roof above 50 kilometers an hour. And once you reach about 80, all you hear is the engine because it's in 4th gear, revving around 5,000 or so RPM. It's all you hear. To have a conversation, you have to speak very, very loudly in the Suzuki LJ. As far as ride and handling goes, 4-wheel leaf spring suspension, manual steering, manual brakes, drums all the way around. It only weighs 1,700 pounds, so who really cares? It stops, it turns. As we know, Suzukis are famously composed in high-speed handling maneuvers. Just ask Consumer Reports in July 1988. 41 horsepower. It isn't fast. You can reach highway speeds. I've reached 107 kilometers an hour in this vehicle before, and that is kind of pushing it, but you know, you can merge. It is, depending on where you are, arguably dangerously slow, but you know, it was designed as basically the Japanese Jeep. It was an off-road vehicle. It's good around town for sure. Even getting onto 60, 70, 80 kilometer an hour roads, it's certainly usable. As far as comfort goes, there isn't really much. You feel the springs in the seats. There's not much space. So if you're over 6 feet tall, it is really a task to drive this car for more than half an hour, 40 minutes. I have done so before. And, you know, this car is not going to be driven to car shows 3-4 hours away. That's for sure. You know, with 49,000 kilometers, everything on it feels brand new. Like, yeah, there's play in the steering, but it feels as good as one of these can possibly feel. The engine is super healthy and honestly surprisingly refined for what it is, just not very powerful, but it's not very heavy either, so it will get up to speed. My favorite thing about driving the LJ is the utter rawness there is no sound deadening. There are no electronics whatsoever. You feel every bump. And quite honestly, the transmission is very nice to operate. Has a pretty well-weighted clutch, and the gears feel very, very straight cut, very mechanical. There's nice weight to the shifter. You have to rev match very aggressively. And most of the time you're just in fourth gear, but it is a very nice transmission to operate. So if you're born in the 2000s like me, there really is nothing comparable. The closest thing I can think of is a Willys Jeep, and I mean, how many people who are alive today have driven a Willys Jeep? It is a legitimately capable off-roader, super short wheelbase. I should have included this stat earlier in the video, but it is only 125 inches long. My Geo Metro, for comparison, is 149 inches long. It is 2 feet shorter than a Geo Metro. It is roughly 4 feet shorter than a brand new Honda Civic, which is, you know, by today's standards, a small car. It's a tiny vehicle. And it actually weighs less than my Geo Metro 2, which weighs in at 1,800 pounds. Apologies for all the Geo Metro references. Yes. Overall, it's obviously super cool. Again, there's nothing else like it. I guess the most comparable similar vehicle would just be a side-by-side today. It goes off-road, but it's actually road legal. You can drive it around town pretty easily. It's super cool to show off at a car show. And there isn't going to be another one around anywhere near you, chances are, wherever you live in North America. At this point, you can see us taking the LJ on the highway. Try to pay close attention to the speedometer there, which maxes out at 120 kilometers an hour. I believe I get it up to about 90, 95. Either way, it takes a while. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to own this utterly unique piece of automotive history, hit up Dallas on Instagram at OnlyZukis. I will plug it on the video. As I'm posting this in mid-January 2026, it is for sale. So if you are interested in owning this, hit him up. Thanks very much. Stay tuned for more.